everyone, I'm Brian, this is the Anime Void, and we're getting right into this. And yes, this is going to be a fully genuine video to help those who are just starting to get into Fate series. First, let me address what a select few of the fans will chime in on, the visual novel. While I do agree that all Fate fans should give the visual novel a try, I really don't think it's necessary to start with them. The various anime are perfectly good ways to start your journey into the world of Fate. The real question is, where to start? And well, if you want the full experience, then starting with Fate Zero or Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works by Ufotable is the best way to go. Do not, under any circumstances, watch Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works by Studio Dean. You will regret it. But these two will establish the basic rules and fundamentals before the other series starts shaking things up. It's a good way to ground yourself in understanding how things like servants and magecraft works. After watching one, I would recommend watching the other next as they are connected, Fate Zero being a prequel to Stay Night, though the order doesn't really matter too much. While there are those out there who bash people for having started with Zero, I call these people elitist and should be paid no mind. Those who swear up and down that Zero is the be-all and end-all are extreme as well. Zero is one of my favorite anime, period, but even I don't go that far. And after those two, the next should be Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel to complete the story arc. And if you're wondering about Studio Dean's take on the Fate route, I mean, you can check it out if you want, but I wouldn't start with it. It's just not that good. But after all of that, you can basically move on to whatever strikes your fancy. There's really no set order to anything. Hell, technically, you don't even have to start with these three if anime with dark tones and philosophical ponderings, more than action, aren't your thing. I just think this is the best place to start if you want to consume all of Fate. Still, here are my recommendations and suggestions for the other Fate anime. If you're a fan of big action, and you like story but you can really take it or leave it, then Fate Apocrypha is definitely the one you should check out. Fate Grand Order Absolute Demonic Front to Babylonia is good for this as well, but you might be a bit too lost with the story if you don't play the mobile game. If you like shaft animation and are fine with not knowing what the hell is going on at any given moment, then this is the only time I will recommend Fate Extra Last Encore. Other than that, just don't watch it. Wait until the new games come out. If you're the kind of person that's into what you can find in Prisma Ilia that isn't the fight scenes, get help. But if you like good action, just check out the scenes and clips on YouTube of it. Don't actually watch the anime, remain pure. Though, from what I hear, the movies are pretty good. Fate Grand Order First Order is nothing too special, but is a great way to be able to get into the mobile game if that's what you're after. For the Fate Grand Order Camelot movies, skip the first, just watch the Stella scene that happens right at the end, and then just watch the second one for the spectacle. They butcher the plot, but by God, the movie is mesmerizing to watch. Then for the Fate Grand Order Grand Temple of Time movie, honestly, if you haven't completed the first part of the mobile game, it will be nowhere near as impactful as it should be, more confusing than anything, but still should be a pretty fun watch. And lastly, Fate Grand Carnival. If you're a new fan, hold off on this one. There are so many in-jokes within the FGO community that creates this show that it's admittedly unfriendly to newcomers. But hey, you might still have fun. The jokes aren't complex or anything, just a if you know kind of deal. Now to finish off, I should address the manga and games. I've personally never read any of the manga, so I'm not sure where would be the best start off there, but I can make an educated guess. There are manga versions of Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, and Fate Grand Order, the latter actually seeming to try to cover the entire series, unlike the anime. So one of those would likely be the best to start with. As for light novel readers, I don't read light novels, so I'm unsure how to recommend any of them. Fate Requiem looks super interesting though. For games, FGO is definitely entry level, easy to get into, but is also gotcha hell. So take that into your own hands if you decide to go this path. That's hell you're walking into. I touched on the visual novels earlier, and I'll expand upon them here. They are very dense and pretty slow, all things considered. They are the definitive source of information for the series, and as a completed work, they are good. But as I said at the start, you don't need to start with them. In fact, I honestly recommend not starting with them. They are pretty hard to get into, speaking from first-hand experience. And while they are definitely worth going through for any Fate fan, we are currently in a place where there are much better avenues to enter the fandom, and they should be celebrated. And then with the Extraverse games, Extella is fun if you like Dynasty Warrior type games, but the story will be wild. And if you manage to be able to play the original Extra, go for it, or just wait for the remake. This universe is kind of its own beast, but hey, we all start our Fate journeys somewhere. So in the end, this is my overall suggestion to someone to get into Fate. It's best to start at the beginning, but really, there's no set way to really go about it. Just watch, play, or read whatever catches your interest and see where it goes from there. At the end of the day, no matter what anyone says, there is no wrong way to start being a fan of something. But hey, what do you think? Was this helpful at all? Let me know down in the comments below. I am very interested to find out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you next time in the void. Later.